calls where you verbally accosted with our new deputies, individually from them, that you received too, where they felt threatened. So I just don't know,
Really?
we couldn't handle
Yeah.
that then.
Well, I think that one that you're talking about, it was recorded, so their two statements are false.
Oh.
Oh,
So
is it
I was
recorded?
happy to see those sitting on the printer though this morning.
Well, I'm
Because,
just saying, the person that verbally accosts people and insults them and calls them out, I had a citizen approach me about, you called her after she made a comment that you didn't approve of, which she don't want to be named because she don't want to be retaliated against, on the Facebook page. So I'm just, how do you plan on, and I want you guys to all know, the Michigan State Police are great with our citizens. They are not great with the board. They're here for you guys, hands down. Anything that happens, take that away from all of this, take that away from it. It's the board. Brian asked Brad to please leave his office, and Brad felt threatened even though he was in Brian's office, so
That's
Brad...
not what I said.
No.
That's not what I
He
said.
was, and you can say it as he was.
No, I'll say it out flat out right. But there's context that needs to be associated with that.
There was a whole argument, and Brad went out and called the state police on Brian because he felt threatened in Brian's office. So, you guys need to know the text. The Michigan State Police are still here to protect you.
You are disturbing the peace at this point. You
But
can
they've
be-
been called enough
That's not
and
right.
reported on enough that they do not want to contend with politics. And that's what this is politics too. So I just want to know if they're not going to enforce it, and we can't enforce the way our deputies felt after you accosted them, then where do we go? We can't even enforce a transparency resolution with the lawyers.
It seems to me that this type of situation would be best incorporated into an updated employee handbook. And that is something that was in the works. Of course, it didn't end up coming to the forefront with everything else that happened immediately thereafter. However, there is a draft, and this certainly is something that would be incorporated into that, and I think already is to a large extent. And in addition to that,
Because a lot of what's in here is
General employee handbook stuff.
exactly.
stuff that there's no way we can enforce this.
Right.
I mean, yes, there are laws that protect things, I mean, but on the other side of the coin, everybody believes in the First Amendment. But something that I tell people is, yes, you have the right to say whatever you want. You are not free from the consequences of what you say.
Right.
Just like one of my favorite things I learned when I went to college, if you walk into a movie theater and you scream fire and there is no fire, you are held liable for what you said. Freedom of speech is not protected in that instant. So, there's a lot of good things that are in here, but we really do not have a way of protecting it.
You do not see that as an enforceable resolution, or do you?
It depends on how you would define enforcement. Like the township board doesn't have the ability to arrest somebody for violating it, but you can issue a censure resolution for violating board policies. Resolutions are binding on the board itself. So,
But that only works against the board members. That doesn't work against an average employee or somebody who works in the fire department or a
Right.
citizen that walks into the building.
And what are censures in nature?
they're just a written reprimand. Like there's
They're
no.
political.
They are political, yeah. There's not like a legally binding aspect to them. A lot of these laws are enforced by Michigan State Police, or you could, like, for stalking and harassment, you can seek a TPO in court yourself. So they can be enforced. The township board would not necessarily have jurisdiction to enforce them themselves, but for what it's worth, I agree that it is often things that you would put in an employee handbook, and maybe it's worth dusting off and using this as a springboard to take a look at that. Yeah.
It's already largely drafted.
Well, it was tabled for months and months and months, so reignite it.
Can you send me what I sent you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'll continue working on that.
Okay, and LCIC, resolution for charitable gaming licenses for Linwood Civic Improvement Club.
I just need the board to approve it, that way we can get it signed and sent off first thing in the morning.
I make a motion to approve LCIC for Pickle Fest.
Second. We got a roll call, we got a resolution.
No, it should, actually it's gambling, which should take money, so I would say yes, just on the safe
To be
side.
Roll
safe,
call.
you might as well, yeah.
Eddie, yes. DeShano,
Yes.
Whalen,
Yes.
Walden,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Okay, Parks and Rec, board request for funds. So the Parks and Rec Committee met Monday, June 1st, and discussed the following. The following items are included below for board discussion and approval. Invest in your community park cleanup. We set the date for Tuesday, June 23rd, with a rain backup day of Wednesday, June 24th, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. We also set June 16th for the committee to prep for the event. The actions we will engage volunteers for are add mulch to playgrounds, paint pavilion, paint picnic tables, paint bleachers, fix paint and add sand to horseshoe pits, trail cleanup, clean up leaves, pick up trash. We will have volunteers bring tools. We will need funding approved for supplies. We need several more days to get the estimates on cost, but we'll have them to you by Monday morning for your board meeting. We ask that you review the estimates and approve funding to purchase these supplies accordingly. Mulch, Salzburg Landscape, $1,050. Paint, 10 gallons at Menards is $478. Paint supplies, brushes, plastic, etc. at Menards, $100. Sand for the horseshoe pits, $32. Horseshoe pits, the wood to replace them is $136. Then it says, please align on what color of paint is needed for the pavilion, picnic tables, bleachers, horseshoe pits. Then let us know. Also looking for your approval to post this event on Facebook page and recruit volunteers. Please advise. Then there's the Christmas tree planting. Preferred option, plant a live tree. Cost estimate range $550 to $760 at Artisans. A 6 to 7 foot tree is $250 plus install with staking and mulch. 300 equals $550. A 7 to 8 foot tree, $360 plus install with staking and mulch. $350 to $400 would be equal up to $760. Would need to be ordered and available in the fall. The benefits: the tree can grow with us. No concern of tipping over on people. Cars no longer needed to find a tree annually for the tree lighting and figure out how to get it in the hall, get it to the hall. Backup option, put a tube, cement in the ground as a holder. Cost from John Resler is $200-ish. Cement $100 and the tube around $100, so $200 plus labor. Concerns: all trunks are not the same size of the trees. Still need to find a tree annually and get someone to haul it. We are asking the board to decide on an option, agree on funding and the location near the front of the hall. This will allow ample time to order a tree, misdig, and get on schedule to install. In summary, please reply with a response on the following. Number 1, approval for funding on supplies for volunteer workday at park. Number 2, decision on color of paint to be used, pavilion, picnic tables, bleachers. Approval for information to be posted on Facebook page to recruit volunteers. Number 3, approval on the path forward on Christmas tree and associated funding.
I think we should break them up.
Yep.
I make a motion to approve $2,000 for their summer cleanup, paint supplies, Menards, sand, Salzburg Landscaping, all the stuff detailed in the email,
In part 1.
in part 1.
I'll second that. That's the main number I came up with too, Brian.
Great.
Okay. Roll call. Whalen,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Eddie, yes. DeShano,
Yes.
Walden.
Yes.
Before we move on to the next one, I want to compliment the kid. I have some neighbors that walk down here and play in the park, and they know a couple bolts missing and broken board on the table. And I reached out to him and I says, hey, is this in your scope of work? And he went out and replaced the board. He did buy a quart of the paint to match the picnic tables. Should I not have him paint it to match?
That's what
Well,
I think.
That needs to be, it's green
It
for
was-
a purpose.
No, they're the red ones,
The red,
the pink ones,
Oh.
out back.
in the very back.
But he replaced 3 boards, so just thinking forward, and there was one replaced last year. He can touch them up and seal them, and we can change them to anything. It was just a quart. But the kid is awesome. He's a great kid. He fixed the faucet in here.
Is that Kyle?
And he gets it, yeah,
Okay.
he gets it. You can talk to him. He sent me done pictures and he was waiting until it wasn't ready to paint. So I just wanted to pay it forward to him.
No, if it's needed to be green, Charlie, thanks for letting us know that. I didn't know there was a need.
Normally, it's been green, the same thing with the bleachers, because it actually looks better longer. You choose to put light colors. they
Well, and
do
the
that.
red head's faded to a pink, but it's 4 picnic tables out back in the back pavilion are, they used to be red, I think, but now they're
There's
just,
9 total in the pavilion.
the one up front here, right? Yeah. These ones are out in front of the concessions that he did fix.
Okay.
Because the bleachers are green too.
So do we want to agree to match the bleachers moving forward?
I would think we'd try to keep everything, so it looks just like.
So, part 2, make a motion to make the picnic tables match the bleachers. in
gloss
green.
because it helps the water to come off the versus satin.
Green gloss.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. Are we just doing this on the,
No, we do roll call.
okay, Whalen,
Yes.
DeShano,
Yes.
Eddie, yes. Walden?
Yes.
Campbell? Yes.
And then I make a motion for $800 for the 7 to 8 foot tree installed. I hope that there's not, I hope we're big enough for a tree spade up there without the electrical.
Let's bump that up a little bit.
Okay.
Let's, so you're talking about full out planting? We have to
Yes.
have, Miss Dig has to have.
And they already
before
said
we can-
that.
Yeah, before we can
Yeah,
even
yeah,
fully
that's already
decide,
in.
because I know there's some concern.
They said it
I
in
saw it
there.
at the
Yeah.
bottom, just
So
before we commit.
they will
to
get
how-
it, and it might be tight, it might not have to move left, I hate to say it, to get away from that box, but we can at least have them do the whole area.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that would be.
Let's wait till after the, let's wait till after the first, when the wedding's in July,
Yeah.
to get anything, just so there's not a bunch of marks out there for the wedding. And it looks like for that size, it would have to be available in the fall anyways.
Yeah, but we can mistake it then too,
So you
before
can-
we do it, we just approve it
It's
now.
So you
just
can
the
prove it for
location.
It gives us time to make
8 or
sure we
9.
don't have sewer lines.
I would go 9 on something that size. I was thinking,
About the lines there too.
Okay.
I
We'll
was
figure
thinking,
it out in the fall.
I was thinking 700 for the 6 to 7 foot, because that gives us plenty of room for growth and all that other stuff. But if you want to go to the 7, 8 foot, then let's make it 9.
Well, if you're using a tree spade, they're using on both, too. The 6, 7 foot was probably a root ball, but the
So you made a motion for 900 from 7
900.
to 8.
Yeah.
Second.
the permanent
Second.
Christmas tree.
Okay, roll call. Eddie, yes. DeShano,
Yep.
Walden,
Yes.
Whalen,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Communication agenda resolution.
Okay. I've had this conversation with you once on the agenda and the items. I know you're not a big fan of the agenda resolution either, but when I designed it, it was in hopes that everything would level out and trustees would reach out to each other, because I very rarely have 3 items to bring, let alone 1, to a board meeting, unless it's something that's been brought to my attention. The agenda resolution, they ended up piggybacking it, and they called, and I said, well, this is historically what I used to do. If no one had one, I'd fill it in. I wanted to tell you that that was designed so we would communicate more with each other.
I'll tell you why me and Megan had to talk and why it has failed is because we used to have 2 meetings when it was bill pay a month, and we got to add all of these things. If you were to go back to historically all of our dates, we had as many items today on all of
I'm following you, and
So are you saying you wanna have another meeting every?
no, I'm saying that if you would've just made some phone calls, you could've made it work. Brian was gone, of course, you could've asked her if he brought any items, and she could've made that decision, and you could've had one of mine, which I filled with 2 of mine. I'm just saying, if you have 6 or 7, you bring the biggest volume, like I said to you before, to the table. This was kind of to provoke conversation, more conversation in between board members. And that wasn't her, that was by design by me. And if you would have called or even asked her, how many did Brian bring, do you mind if I use those ones? And we made it work, but I'm just saying, it was to provoke interaction on this stuff. And that's the communication I wanted to tell you. It's just to provoke communication.
Okay, public comment, 2 minutes.
Jeremy Bloom, 2110 Fraser. Well, as we sat through this meeting, 2 hours, good job. Noticed several things we pay the lawyer for. The lawyer bill just keeps going higher and higher and higher. The planning commission sat and approved amendments, sent them to you guys. We're another month out before they get approved to help residents build what they need. Question I have for the board, we have this iPad that township residents pay for in taxes to record audio for these meetings, planning commission meetings, the ZBA meetings. Why do we also pay for 2 deputies to attend to take notes at these meetings? Plus, I believe this records a mess over here.
Not at this time.
So just the iPad. And the final thing, I submitted a FOIA. Took quite a while to get it back to me. Trent's office did decent. Sounds like the failure might have been here in the office as far as getting the payment, that the good faith payment that was paid to him in a timely manner. Brian, I think you're doing a good job. You are thinking for yourself. I had my doubts at first that you were somebody's puppet, but you seem to be thinking for yourself. Good job. Why is the clerk's office not handling FOIAs? Why is every FOIA going to attorney fee amounts over and over? I'm hearing that.
We are handling a lot of the FOIAs. There are certain ones that we turn over to Trent or Trent's office because some of them are just outside the scope of what we can handle right now, especially when it becomes, when we're in an election, like yours came in the middle of an election, that's where our focus has to go. We just can't handle everything else and deal with the election at the same time. We've got too much on our plate. That's just, honestly, that's just the honest answer.
I will understand the election time, so, but it's just, I mean, these lawyer bills, you guys.
No,
I know you need to put food on the table and rent and cars and clothes, but, you know, we here in the township are strapped paying taxes.
And honestly, some of the FOIAs are just outside of our scope, what we can handle on our own.
Okay. That's all I got, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Wellmer, 209 Guy Street. I've been dealing with these guys for a few months. I've got yet to see this come back because it was lost and many other papers in my file. You might want to look at it because she just found it and it's like missing for 2 months. Where'd it go? But if I was Marathon, it didn't get lost. It's right on the front because that's big money, big taxes. But my little job over here, which I just opened in Linwood, never got any look and nobody called me. I haven't heard nothing. I came down many times and I still ain't getting no answers. So a little confused on this place. And when we have a lawyer, when I've never seen this in my life, if they are qualified to do their job, they shouldn't be calling you. He knows what he's doing. I don't know why they're calling you to do his job. I don't know where any part of your title even comes to close to what he knows. So I don't understand why we have a lawyer looking over someone that's got 50 years. I did electrical, and I did it for a lot of municipalities. They never questioned me once. Went in there, did my job, got paid. But yet they don't know what they're doing because I don't know if they had the qualifications to take the job, and I think you gotta have that. You should, to take a job that, because with all the bickering, a lawyer, I've never seen that in my life, and if we have that kind of money, I'd sure like to get some guys, because I just pushed out a bunch of money to start a business, and all I'm getting is a bunch of shit from this company, from this, I've been taped by Charlie behind closed doors twice, been threatened by Brian once, and so I don't know where this place is coming from. It's not good, not good at all.
You were never taped, sorry, sir.
Why'd you put me behind closed doors, Charlie?
You and I sat in that room and we were talking about it, and I told you that if I have liberty to speak, I told you we needed to get a certified print. You had never turned in a master plan that was a certified print according to 1602.
It's gotta go forward before I'm gonna do that, Charlie. I'm not spending a bunch of money until I get
This
some kind.
right on the back of this, the original piece on the back, it has 1602. It states 3 prints certified will be
No.
turned in to the township. And
Whatever
then-
happened to Turkey Roost that never got any kind of prints? Doing the same thing I'm doing.
Actually,
And I was told it was COVID. COVID's still here.
Turkey
COVID got a
Roost did
kick
have-
out. Remember, COVID got a kick out during COVID. Turkey Roost did, and never had any kind of heavy-duty prints, because I looked at the prints. There was none. No certified stamp prints. So, where does it go from there? I'm calling you out. Why can't I have a kick out? They got one without having, I got nice prints. Go look at them. Beautiful prints. You don't like them because they're not making you any money or something, or you can't read them?
They don't
I think they're very legible. And if you can't, if I can't supply you with that kind, and they all should look at it. They're very nice prints. I'm doing a little 9x9 kick out. What did Turkey Roost do? About the same thing. Didn't have to have nothing. So, what? They can do it, I can't? I don't understand. And nobody's ever called me back, and that's been 2 months. I come down here to get answers, I get no answers. I come in here and she gets all excited and wants to run. I don't know. It's crazy. But if you don't know your job, I don't think you should be taking a job that pays good money, because you're hiring this guy and his firm. He's made enough money for his pocketbook this year. I haven't seen nothing come my way. Or even somebody looking at my permit or getting back to me a bunch of times down here. And a lot of paper's been lost in my file, and I got pretty irate one time. He called the cops. Why? Because I wanted my paper. So I came down the next day and gave her all sorts of the paperwork she didn't have that I kept. I keep good paperwork. So I was in business for 37 years, and you gotta have the good paperwork. So I'm just blown away by this whole rigmarole you guys got going. Why there's a lawyer here, I have no idea. If they can't get it done, then they should just leave. They don't do your job, then get out of here if you don't know it. Why'd you take it? For the money? I don't know. That's all I got, because half of them should be here. If you don't have the talent to do it, then go. Don't sit here and argue and bring in a lawyer to take money out of my pocket that I'm paying on taxes. No, that's totally wrong. Totally wrong. And I guess we're out of that money too. Is that money gone and you guys are coming up with some other funds trying to get to pay the lawyers? Where are we coming up with all this money at the end of the year? You might want to watch all the Queen's Horses. That's a good one. You ever watch it, guys? That's in my conversation. But I'd really like to know if someone's going to give me a call. Let me know if I get an 9x9 kick out. Marathon's going straight forward. They got lots of money invested, a lot of the tax money coming. I'm not giving you enough? I got 2 buildings in Linwood. I guess not.
Thanks, Mike.
Public comment.
Why not join me for
Arnie Prime, 1795 Beaver Road. Kind of reiterate a little bit about like what Jeremy said. You know, you guys appointed a zoning commission, the board, the zoning board. They spent how many months on that, to modify our ordinance book? And you all weren't ignorant to what they were doing. You kind of knew what they were doing. And the people they were working for, they were all here. Everybody wanted an answer. They show up, they give you their paperwork. And what is it? Well, I haven't read this. I just You can't take 5 minutes and go through it and read it a little bit and say yay or nay? No, let's send it to an attorney. Now, the attorney's another month out because he hasn't got the answer to him yet. So now these people are 3 months into it. This is stupid. If your zoning board is not bright enough and talented enough to come up with the right answers for things, you better get another zoning board.
Exactly.
You know, and if you gotta send everything from your committees to an attorney, let all your committees know, hey, when you come up with something, let's get it to the attorney. If they would've known they had to get it to the attorney, they'd have had it to the attorney before they brought it to you guys, and it'd have been a done deal that day. But no, all of a sudden, someone says, oh, I haven't read this, I ain't gonna okay this, let's send it to the attorneys. Don't smirk. Campbell, you're the one that did it. Don't be sitting there
Excuse
smirking.
me, I'm actually making notes right now on what you're saying.
That's fine, I'm sorry.
And what did I do?
You sent that to the attorneys. You felt you didn't have time to read it and make a decision. You just send it to the attorney. You didn't trust your zoning board, which I think you might have, your planning commission, I think you might have been at some of the meetings even, or involved. You knew what was going on a little bit, more than I don't know, but I just think that was handled way bad. And another one that, like you said, went to the lawyers.
Yeah, why are we sending everything to lawyers? If you guys don't have it, get out. That's all there is to it. It's crazy. You've never seen a lawyer at these kind of places.
Public comment.
Right, I just build it.
I got one.
You're right.
I missed a couple meetings with working and stuff. I got a Jim Pocho, 201 River Street. Got a couple questions about the members on the board. Who is in favor of alternative energy and who isn't nowadays? Like I said, I missed the meetings, so I don't know if this has been touched on before, but I know before it seemed like almost everybody was against most of the alternative energy, and it sounds like mostly now the people are for it. I know I'm not in favor of the windmills. Kind of like to have anybody else's idea. Windmills and solar, who's in favor and who's against? Anybody up there want to comment? About both? How about anybody else?
I think maybe there's a little confusion about the overlay district that we had to do because of what they were doing in the state legislature, because we were losing local control. So we were forced to do an overlay district in order to be compliant. That had nothing to do with how we felt about it. It had to do with responding to what was coming down
So are you
from
in
the
favor or
state.
against?
I've never been a fan. However, the overlay district wasn't a stamp of approval. It was really just a requirement in order to stay compliant, to basically say, fine, if you're gonna come into our township, here's the areas where you can come into, right? And they were not the most ideal.
I
In
think
the
that's one
overlay.
thing we all agree on.
So,
Legally,
yeah, it's-
we had to give them X amount of acres
Yes,
within our community.
For the windmills?
yes.
Or
And
solar,
And solar
or
and
battery.
battery storage. However, there's been some stuff that's happened with Code of Appeals related to the class action suit that we are still a part of with 70-plus other townships in the state.
I know,
there's-
that's all it used to be against. it.
there's-
That's why I was
well,
wondering.
and I
That's
don't-
one
that
thing we
didn't-
still all agree on.
Yeah, that didn't change. It was just we had to do some legal stuff, you know, in relation to what the state was doing. So, but DTE is actually,
They got a
they're,
little bit of power.
they have quite a bit of power.
We got a lot of
So
money.
I don't know that our opinion is gonna matter a whole lot based on the maneuverings that are happening.
Well, if you
In all
guys
honesty, I don't love that answer.
do end up
but-
getting it passed, could you put some kind of provisions in there for people that live within so many miles of windmill or solar farm? Maybe they get some kind of tax break or anything?
Yeah.
That's all laid out, but it's still,
I mean, what I see is the only people making money is the farmers and the,
The state took
Power.
away our ability to really do a whole lot of anything with that, and DTE is intending to basically have their way because of the vote where everybody was in support of green
so it
energy.
almost sounds
So-
like it's eminent domain type thing.
You got it.
We had to do what we
There's
had
no
to do
option.
so that didn't happen.
Yeah, as much as we could control it, I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know, I don't know that it's gonna hold.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with how we feel about it, it's just what the state's got going on.
All right.
Thank you.
Public comment. Public comment?
I'd like to just, I'm sorry, Charlie, that I called you out like that, because you made the motion, but the majority of the board voted on it, so it's not just you.
That's okay.
I know you got big children.
Thanks, Aaron.
Public comment?
So, I have one more. I brought that to your guys' attention. I don't know if you can talk or you can't talk, but when I come down here, nobody talks to me either. And then when they want to, she'll call her, which it's not even her authority to know anything. It's a building, question. So why are we calling, the secretary calling the treasurer on building stuff? I don't understand. She never called Brad, said, who'd you just call? Oh, I called the treasurer. Well, for a building question? But anyways, I brought that to your attention, and that's been sitting there 2 months, and then they just found it the other day. So, what are we gonna do? I'll be back in there bashing your door tomorrow, and get me an answer. I wanna know. I mean, I paid you money. You guys took the money, cashed the check. Nothing's being done. I don't get a word back from anybody. So, if this is what we have, I'll just go and do it, and have me tear it down later, but you get the lawyer again, get another lawyer. Because that's what it takes to get that done. Because I get a big lawyer from Muskegon where I'm from too. So, end of story.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Public comment.
Jeff Class, 1371 Beaver Road. So, something over $325,000 we talked about spending today. Anybody seen a budget that says where
No.
we're at?
Never.
And that doesn't include any of the legal fees. Quarter of the way into the fiscal year. We don't have it. We can't see it.
Why?
So let's keep
Not guaranteed enough?
spending that money.
Spit it out.
And then the resolution for intimidation, harassment. You know, supervisor brought this stuff up, and he's the one that was a big culprit of this for the past board. He felt pretty free in his comments to the previous board members, in the actions that he did, and now that he's on the other side of the table, it's a big deal. Interesting how that works out.
Only one thing I threatened.
You threatened my wife.
Never.
Okay, so does threatening legal action, is that a threat? Saying I'm going to call my lawyer or have him call you? That's not a threat.
No.
Great.
Thanks, John.
Public comment.
Doesn't mean anything.
Public
Doesn't mean
comment.
anything. I spoke and I didn't get one word back. So does it mean anything? Nothing.
We'll
Nothing.
get back with you.
Yeah. Because when I do come here, I never get an answer from any of them. So, it's pretty piss poor.
Public comment. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.